My dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We look at the world today and we feel small. We look at our problems, all our struggles. Maybe you are an orphan. Maybe you are someone who feels left out. Maybe you feel the world is against you. You think the deck is stacked against you. Today I want to speak to you a title of honor, yet a title of immense weight. The Orphan of Mecca, and how his life became the greatest story ever told. The life of the final messenger. You think the deck is stacked against you. You think your beginning defines your ending. You think because you started from a place of weakness, you will never reach a place of strength. This is the whispering of Shaitan, and it is a lie. It is the greatest lie that the enemy wants you to believe, that your past disqualifies you from a great future. Today, Allah says that clearly, I want to speak to you about a title that seems like a mark of shame in the eyes of the world, but in the eyes of Allah, became a mark of the highest honor, a title of immense weight, yet a title of divine wisdom, Yatima wa Makkah, the Orphan of Makkah, and how his life became the greatest story ever told. The life of the final messenger, Muhammad ibn Abdullah, the beloved of Allah, the seal of the prophets, upon him be the peace and blessings of the Almighty. Before he was a prophet, before he stood in the court of Allah on the night of Isra wal Miraj, before he led the armies of believers, before he conquered the hearts of millions, simply a boy with no father. Let that sink in. His father, the light of Amina's eyes, does that clearly, passed away before this blessless child even entered this dunya. He never saw his father's face. He never felt his father's hand upon his head. He entered this world already carrying the weight of loss. And then, just when a child needs a mother's love the most, when he was only 6 years old, his mother Amina passed away in the desert of Abwa. Imagine that moment. Imagine that little boy standing by the grave of his mother in the middle of nowhere, not understanding why everyone leaves him. Tell us that he was so distressed, so shaken, that his nursemaid Ayman had to hold him tightly. He was 6 years old, twice over. Then he was taken in by his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, the leader of the Quraysh. The old man loved him dearly, more than his own children. He would give this boy precedence over everyone. But this comfort was short-lived. When Muhammad was 8 years old, the grandfather also passed on. Now he was completely alone in the world. No father, no mother, no grandfather. Passed from hand to hand like a fragile trust, eventually landing in the care of his uncle, Abu Talib, who had many children of his own and very little wealth. Imagine that pain. Imagine that emptiness. Allah says that clearly. Imagine looking at other children playing with their fathers, being carried on their shoulders, being defended by them. Imagine seeing other children running to their mothers when they are scared, being held, being comforted. And you have no one to run to. Allah places you with someone else. Allah says that clearing of being a guest in someone else's home, the feeling that you don't truly belong to anyone. This was the reality of the greatest human being ever created. Why? Why would Allah allow his beloved to suffer like this? Allah says that clearly. Why would the most merciful subject the mercy to the worlds, to such a childhood of loss and grief? Because Allah wanted to send a message to you and me. A message that echoes through 14 centuries and lands directly in your heart today. You do not need a father to have a father. Do not need a mother to have the most compassionate. Allah is Al-Wali, the ultimate protector. Allah is Al-Wadad, the loving. Took the most vulnerable human being An orphan with no status, no money, no tribe to fully back him. A boy in the harsh desert of Makkah, and he looked upon that boy with mercy and said, this one will be the leader of all humanity. This one will be the one I call my Khalil. This one will be the one whose name I raise high with my own name. Only this one will be the standard by which I judge all of creation. Subhanallah. Think about that today. If you feel alone, closer to you than your jugular vein, if you feel abandoned, know that Allah never abandons those who turn to Him. Allah says that clearly. The orphan of Makkah, the one who had no one, became the master of the universe. He started with nothing in the eyes of the world. Allah says that clearly, and he ended with everything in the eyes of Allah. And the same Allah who elevated him is the same Allah who is watching over you. Allah says that clearly. So do not look at your beginning. Look at your potential with Allah. Look at what He can make of you if you simply surrender to Him. The boy with no father became the father of the entire ummah. The boy with no protector became the intercessor on the day of judgment. Only so, who are you to say that your story cannot change? Who are you to say that your loneliness is permanent? The orphan of Makkah teaches us that when you have Allah, you have everything, even when you have nothing.